First up is the Mori update. They basically went back on some things. The Cypress Memento Mori is removed because it's base kit now, essentially. The Ebony and Ivory Memento Moris are reinstated again. So now, if you bring the Ebony Memento Mori, you can Mori all 4 survivors, which I think is cool. That's honestly the best way they should have done it, to be honest. Just make the Cypress one base kit. All right, then we got the Skull Merchant. The Skull Merchant gains 5% haste when a survivor is scanned for within 5 seconds of placing a drone. So she could place a drone out of loop, and then you crouch the rotation. And then if she doesn't change the rotation at all, she won't get the 5% haste. But she could change the rotation at any minute, and that'll scan you, and that'll make her 120 for, who knows how long the haste lasts. It doesn't say, 5 to 10 seconds, I would assume. Increased hindered effect when scanned by a drone to 8% was 5%. So, I mean, she's going to be catching up even more. Increased drone rotation speed to 95 degrees per second was 85, so they made the purple add-on base kit. Decreased movement speed while deploying a drone or inspecting the radar to 4.4. Not really that big of a deal. Those are really short amounts of time that you're checking those usually. And you recover from them super quick and gain back your normal speed super quick because it's not an attack, so... And then fast vaults are no longer detected by drones. I didn't even know fast vaults were detected by drones at all. Does that mean if you fast vault a window, the drone won't scan you? I really don't know, honestly. We intend to revisit the Skull Merchant in a future release with a larger rework. Small tweak for the Hillbilly. Increased overdrive chainsaw movement speed to 12 meters per second was 11.5. They nerfed Hillbilly in every way for overdrive across the board. They give him a little something back, so I guess that's nice. Distortion. Reintroduced tokens. Tokens now recharge over 30 seconds while in chase, up to a maximum of 2. I like this because it kind of standardizes it when it comes to these perks. Like, Pebble only comes back when you're in the killer's terror radius, but not in chase. Stakeout is the same way when you're in the killer's terror radius, but not in chase. Distortion was in and out of chase, which I don't think was fair. I think it's got to be one or the other. So they put it as an in chase, which I think makes sense because... otherwise, you could just be ratting the whole time, which is very annoying to run into teammates who have Distortion, and they're just hiding in the corner of the map. I couldn't stand that, so... They get 2 tokens now, but they're 12 seconds instead of 10 seconds, and they're on a 30-second timer, so... Zanshin Tactics gets a nerf. Kind of seen this one coming, but wasn't really sure how they'd go through with it. Survivors who drop a pallet have their aura revealed for 8 seconds. So this is kind of like Troubleshooter, the Survivor perk, where if you drop a pallet... you see the killer's aura for 8 seconds. So this is the opposite of that. So they drop a pallet, their aura is revealed for 8 seconds. Removed aura reading on pallets and vaults within 32 meters. Reintroduced aura reading for pallets and vaults within 32 meters. No longer reveals the aura of survivors near drop pallets. So it's going to be just like old school Zanshin Tactics, but now whenever they drop a pallet, their aura will be revealed for 8 seconds. I think this is fine. I think it's, it's definitely better than what it was before. It's not bad because, when a survivor drops a pallet, that's, when you need the aura reading the most. But I think the really interesting part about it was if you left it in its old state, like I was leaving pallets up way more often. And, that did come back to bite me in some scenarios because the survivors had a lot of safe pallets that were up that I wanted to leave up because of the aura reading on them. So, like... Shack Pallet had a Jin next to it. I never kicked Shack Pallet anymore. I just tried to play around it. So, that was probably hurting me in the long run. But, that's a strategic choice to make, to leave survivors their pallets. And then you could have had this, a Zanshin Tactic meta, and then an Any Means Necessary meta, where it was a tug of war between, killers not wanting to break pallets and survivors resetting pallets. But they just got rid of it completely. So, that's kind of unfortunate. Corrective action for Jonah Vasquez. Obviously, this one was way too insane. Don't even know how it made it to PTB. Now, corrective action turns skill checks that were missed into good skill checks. It used to be great on the PTB, which was insane. When corrective action activates, reveal the aura of any survivor who missed a skill check for a few seconds. Corrective action no longer has a range limit, so this is map wide. So, pretty solid. Not great though. I don't know if anybody's gonna use it, honestly. Deathbound effect now activates when losing a health state. This one was, people were complaining about it because it would be active the entire game because it was hooking a survivor. You had to hook the survivor to deactivate it. Now they made it injury. Personally, I think the perk was kind of overrated anyways. Oblivious it's not really worthless, but it's only on one survivor, so it's not great. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that real quick. That was a short video. Very small changes, but yeah, it looks like everything else is getting pushed through. And props to Behavior for giving her a little something to get her through to the rework. I mean, this is a much better approach than just gutting the killer straight out and then leaving them for years like poor Freddy. So yeah, that does it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.